There's that.
What kind of dance is that, Walter?
It's the stand still, baby. You've heard of the stand still. Come on, do the stand still.
Do you like my new dance?
Love it.
One thing is for certain, I won't be at the club with you guys.
I want to dance too.
Dude, you want to have fun? You come out with me. People think I'm drinking and stuff, and they're like, dude, I want to have whatever he's drinking. I'm like, dude, I don't drink. What?
Man,
7-Up. I'm drinking fucking 7-Up.
man, go on with you. I'll be
Dan
in
knows
jail.
he was with me once.
I'll be
Yeah,
in
we went
jail
to-
somewhere.
I went out to a bar with this crazy fucker, and he drank 7-Up. I'm like, why are you at a bar?
We walked in there, and I hadn't seen people I hadn't seen in like 15 years, man. It was insane.
Ain't nothing
By the
wrong
way,
with
that-
7-Up. That's what I drink. I mean,
By the way,
I don't drink.
Foster, tell that bar that their chili fucking sucks.
Does it
That
really?
chili, that
I'm gonna
chili
tell her.
sucked.
I'm gonna tell. Did it suck? Was it
It
terrible?
sucked. It was fucking terrible.
When did you eat it?
I can give you 5 reasons why. You want all of them?
No. 'Cause
Simple,
we'll talk
no.
about that later. Unless
The
you
meat
wanna tell
wasn't.
me, I don't care.
Let's just start with the meat wasn't drained. Well, we'll go from there. They didn't drain the fat out of the meat. Well, we can start there.
That's terrible, man.
There's like a layer of like coagulated fat on top of it.
You must
Not
have got
enough
sick, 'cause
beans,
I
not enough-
eat it, and it's usually
There was
great.
no peppers or onions in it. It was just beans and meat.
You got the bottom of the barrel.
Potatoes.
You should have never got it.
I just want to say one thing. I would have never thought in a million years I would be live on the air for everyone to see talking about somebody's meat.
Well, it's close to a million years, PJ. You've been around that long, but you didn't quite make the million. It happened. And Walter's probably going, what the fuck did I get myself into tonight coming on here with these guys?
Being a little crazy is just fine, Foster.
Yeah, it is. It's somebody's got to do it, and I volunteered like twice. I stood in line for it. I wanted to get back since we got Walter here, because you said Walter, you put up a thing there that you'd rather have N'Keal Harry over EQ.
Yes. I stick to that 100%.
You
I'm
got
not even sure why
specific
St. Brown is even on
reasons?
the team.
What?
I don't even know why St. Brown is even on the team anymore.
I love it.
Okay.
No, N'Keal Harry was just underused. And honestly, it boils down to one play. I don't remember who they were playing, but Fields took a shot in the end zone, and N'Keal Harry jumped up to get it, and you see the opposing defender grab it, and he just punches the ball away.
Mhm.
That sealed it right
play.
there. No one else on our team last year just did that.
Mm-hmm.
What about, do you believe that is it possible that EQ, well, I know it is true, but maybe Harry wasn't getting the offense like EQ was, and that's probably why Harry's not here and EQ is.
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I didn't understand why Harry was a scratch most of the season. I know he was hurt off and on, but
Right.
maybe that played into it. I don't know.
Yeah.
What I didn't get was they used a 7th round pick on him, and just I mean I know it's a 7th round pick, but the way Poles is using 7th round picks, we do pretty good with them, man. So I don't know. It's again, man.
Well, let me ask you this, Walter: was the 7th round pick for N'Keal Harry a better trade than the 2nd round pick for Chase Claypool?
You know, I'm not a big. I actually like the Chase Claypool trade. I don't mind it one bit.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, all these people are like, oh, it's a 1st round pick. It's pick 32. It's 2nd round either way.
Mhm.
Don't give me that. Just walk away if that's your argument.
Normally, in a normal year, that would have been the last pick in the 1st round. I'm just saying.
He's saying walk away though, Foster. If that's your
Yeah.
argument.
I agree with you, dude.
All right, that means fuck off, Foster.
You know, there's other people we could have taken with that pick, yes. But like Paul said, the wide receiver class at that time was, we don't really know. And And when we made the trade, where we figured out to be the worst team in the league and have the number 1 overall pick, no.
Right. Right. I don't know.
I'm not crapping on the Claypool trade at all. Not at all. My only argument is that it was that high of a second-round pick, and we haven't heard. And this is all just Bears fan bullshit talk, right? Because here we are going, oh, it's OTAs, and DJ Moore looks amazing with Justin Fields.
Right.
Right. If you would have had that time with Claypool last year, we might have been saying the same thing. But why aren't we saying that now? Oh, Justin Fields has a great rapport with DJ Moore and Chase Claypool.
Yeah, DJ Moore's the shiny new toy. Of course, the media is going to talk about it.
Right.
It doesn't matter what anyone else does.
Right.
I mean, there was a lot of talk prior to OTAs that Fields and Claypool and were working out on them by themselves. So I mean, we don't really know. And we're not going to see that until training camp at the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
The soft tissue injury, it is what it is. We saw last year, Eberflus isn't really one to give up injury information prior to the start of training camp, nor is he really required to.
Right.
I don't think they're supposed. I don't think they have to until we start training camp, and then they have to give out a little more information. But it could be anything from a bruise to a sprain. We don't know. But I mean,
JTK says Harry had depth with issues on his route. Remember when Nagy talked about Anthony Miller not getting the right depth? It was an issue for both. And for that, J2K, all I have to say is this.
I'm not even going to get into that. I have zero thought.
That's right. I brought it back. I found it somewhere in my archives of all the crap I've made for this channel. It's all over the damn place on my computer. Plural. Computers. That's right. Don't slip up and say the N-word around here.
I'm not even going to get into that. I have zero thought.
That's the BCP N-word. Nagy.
I'm not even going to get into that. I have zero thought.
You know what? I wanted before real quick. Hi Terry, because I've got a friend that's listening. And then hi Shay. Shay's in the chat, man. I don't know if you guys caught that. Queen of the North, Shay.
Queen of the North.
Queen of the North.
What's up, Shay?
Thank you for joining us tonight. Queen was awesome on the show.
Yep.
So, what bit of news, Doug, did you have you heard over the off season here?
Walt,
I'm sorry. My apologies. Walt.
Don't worry. Just call him.
I know you're talking to.
Call him Sam or something. I've done it many times.
Well, what news have you heard over the off season that you're most impressed with that you have heard?
I'm just excited with the work ethic of the team. Fields has always been number one in that department. He's a leader. I think he leads from the front. And that's my big concern, a little bit off topic, but that was my thing with the whole Jalen Johnson not showing up to training camp. And we talked about it a bit last week where he was going on about, I'm a leader, I'm going to lead this secondary, blah, blah, blah. But, leaders sometimes they have to do things they don't want to do. I mean, yes, I completely understand you want to be there for your kids, and that's fine. But the 90 other guys and coaches that are over there, do they not have families? They don't have kids? They're taking time out of their schedule to do this. So let's be there for them.
Yeah.
I can agree with you on that.
DJ Moore, he's going to be great. He looked good in Carolina. And we all know the quarterback carousel Carolina had over the years. So.
And one of them's the backup.
Yeah. PJ Walker was fine.
Yeah. I'm happy with PJ Walker.
Yeah.
Take him as a backup any day of the week, especially with our system, and he
fits the skill
set
set
that he has.
Mm-hmm.
They fit in with this team, man.
So, Walt, how do you feel about the rest of the receivers? How do you feel about Mooney? You think he's going to recover from that leg injury?
It was his ankle, right, that he hurt.
Yeah.
I know he hurt it twice already in his career, so we'll have to see where he comes back from that. But he was on pace to do exactly what he did last year. What do you have? What was he, like a little over 1,000 yards? I think it was 1055.
Did he? Yeah, I think he had a little over.
DJ?
No,
that was Darnell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he had, look at here, he had 140 targets for 1,055 yards. So he's looking at about 4.7 yards after the catch.
Mm-hmm.
He was still doing about 4.1 when he got hurt. So you keep that up, you just build up the volume, and he's easily going to hit 1,000 yards.
With DJ Moore on the team, though?
With DJ Moore, probably about 8 to 9. They could have 2,000-yard receivers, but honestly, I feel Claypool will be the second one versus Darnell Mooney.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat, Walter. I'm with you, dude.
I see Claypool as the 2. I mean, there's no reason to even discuss 1. We already know that's DJ Moore. Darnell Mooney at the 3 and Velus Jones at 4. Tyler Scott backing him up. Pennis is, on a boat somewhere. I don't really care what he does. And, St. Brown could just sit on the bench and drink Gatorade for all I care.
Yeah. But
Hey, at least he's on. At least you're honest, dude. You're telling it like you feel
I'm not going to sugarcoat
That's
it.
what this is about.
But the thing is, I mean, there's a difference between what we want and what we think the Bears is going to actually do. And given the fact that EQ came here with Getsy, I don't see him just riding away on the bench. And the fact that they re-signed him, I think, he's going to get some playing time, based on that reason, if nothing else. I mean,
he's gonna get his time. We saw that with Pettis last year. The guy was stone hands all year, but we're still throwing to him.
Yeah.
So
you're dead right there.
I don't know.
Right there, Walter.
I mean, look at Sam Mustipher last year. Why was he even on the lineup at all?
Well, Patrick, you saying they should have moved what? Jesus, why am I?
Lucas Patrick?
No, the left guard back to center, like we're doing right now.
Cody
Whitehair. We should have moved Cody Whitehair back to center last year.
Yeah, you were probably better off doing that. Honestly, you could have moved anyone into left guard. Dieter Iceland. You had Alex Leatherwood. You could have tried out there at left guard. You could have scoured the free agent market and grabbed somebody on the cheap just to fill in. I mean, you could have put a tackling Dumley out there, and he would have been better than Sam Mustipher. But that's besides the point.
And when they played Dieter Iceland at guard and center at the end of the year, he played really well. You're right; they might have been able to do that. We had a whole show on that.
Yep.
The North is in here about that.
Yep.
He's not bad. He's not, he's not going to be a star. But you know what you get with Dieter Iceland. He's going to be serviceable.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I feel. He's better than average. I mean, I got to look at the numbers, but he hasn't played enough. And I've said this 100 times, and I know it's preseason. Who was the second best ranked offensive lineman all of preseason behind Tevin Jenkins? It was Dieter Iceland. Those are the numbers, man. Those are the numbers.
I tell you what, I think we should have played Iceland as our center last year. I really believe that, and I'm hoping that he supplants Whitehair this year, because I moving forward, I would like to see him as our center. I mean, Whitehair is making what, $14 million this year or something like that, and it's like, okay, let's get Iceland, because I'm afraid that if we don't sign him or get him in or sign him long term, he's going to get taken by somebody else. So
Iceland?
Yeah.
Somebody's going to grab his ass if we don't take care of it. I know it.
Yeah.
Just because of all the film on him that is built up over the last season and a half. And you got to remember, he was a right guard at Yale.
Okay.
So for him to be able to play both guard spots, and he's learning center under Olin Kreutz, might have 2 years under his belt now, because last season was the only time he's played center in the NFL.
I thought he played center under Nagy too.
He might have a little bit. You're right. I mean that. You know what? I remember the interview with him on a different network.
Yeah.
And that was when he just was learning. He goes, I've decided center is going to be my position. I think I can really get in, play this game at the center position.
Yeah, he's what.
And also at that time when that happened, you had Baldwin and Whitehair, and they looked solid then. It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, he had.
So it was hard for him to get in at guard with those two guys there. That's how he started working out at center. And now he's been working with Olin Kreutz for a year and a half or so, maybe 2 years now. So
6'4", 300+ pounds. He got some. He got some nice size to him. So I see him being our future center. I would hope so.
Nate Davis. him in center and Tevin next to him, we should be able to run right on any team right up the middle.
All pro line for years.
I would think so eventually, but
man, yeah. So I don't know. That makes me. What do you think about Lucas Patrick, Walter?
Go ahead, Shorty.
Kitty was saying like we should ask or answer Doug's question.
Sorry.
That was my question, Shorty. If Patrick couldn't play center and Whitehair is such a great center, then why did the obviously inferior Mustafa play last year? I guess that goes back to.
I honestly don't know. I don't know if he had any like sort of blackmail on the team. It must have.
Olin Kreutz was in his pocket.
What's this got to it?
We were talking about this on that center show because it's been a lot of people were asking the same thing, and we came to this conclusion. Okay, we're not there. We're not. We don't see everything. We don't know everything. But my opinion was that he didn't have enough down at the center position early in the season. And you brought this up before, Shorty. You noticed what was it the Frisco game where he was playing more, but when Fields wasn't in there because they weren't sure what he was going to do. And I'm going, screw it. He can't be worse than having Mustafa pushed back into his body. I don't see Dieter being that bad.
No, every play that I looked at, I had a shitload of them pulled up for that show, but I never got to any of them. He was barely moved.
Yep.
He did his job exceptionally well.
Or he was pushing a guy 7 yards down the field and 4 yards across from the play and still kept pushing him after the whistle stopped. I saw that at least 8 times when I looked at his stuff. He just don't stop. Even when the whistle, he's still not till it's done.
Yeah, I think Dieter, he's an up and coming player. I mean, granted, he ain't gonna be no All Pro this year or nothing like that, but I really think he's a solid enough player to be a starter on this team at center. But to try to answer that question as best I can, reason why they didn't move Whitehair last year, they already had him penciled in at left guard. I didn't see them wanting to try to move him because at the time they didn't have a lot of faith in Carter being the rookie. They didn't have a lot of faith in him, so they wanted to keep probably Whitehair there. They had no other options because if they had more options, I mean that's part of the reason why they moved Jenkins to guard because they really was thin at guard. So,
they had to put all their eggs in the Patrick basket, and then by the time he was injured, it's like, well, we're not just going to go moving Whitehair to center because we have him at guard.
Yeah.
Their options were very little last year.
Yeah.
Right. So Jay Duque is spot on. No OG to really replace Whitehair.
Mm-hmm. Kitty, where's the damn trivia? Come on.
And in retro, you're right. Dieter really hasn't proven anything, but the upside's there. And I guess in an extended period, maybe you can then see whether or not he can do something. Because in that Dallas game, I think he played a few reps and he looked pretty solid there.
Here's what I do know. The 5 plays he was in a row in one game, he did his job every time, and his guy never got near the quarterback. That's what I do know because we saw it.
That's what I do know too.
So I'd like to see what Mustafa would have done in those 5 plays because there was 1 or 2 plays where he probably would have been in the backfield. Tevin just took the one dude, got under him, and pushed him back 3 yards to the left in that game. I just remember that play because I'm like, everybody even stopped, and he was still pushing him. That's the one that just sticks in my head, man. There's about 5 of those, really, but that one play.
Yeah. The amount of plays I had ready for that show to show you guys was astonishing. Just to show you how you could not get past the guy. And I'm excited about him.
I want to get back to that when we get back to the line, man, because I think we should take a look at that. I'd love to see that stuff if you still got it hanging around.
Yeah.
We went on, 4 hours that night. Shay was there all night.
Over 4 hours.
Going off. That was a great show, too, man. That was a great show.
Yeah. Without
any highlights.
It's random trivia time. Damn it, Kitty. Get that ready. I can hear her yelling at me from the other room. How many Hall of Famers have some connection to the Chicago Bears franchise? A, 30, B, 33, C, 35, D, 38. How many Hall of Famers have some connection to the Chicago Bears franchise? Is it A, 30, B, 33, C, 35, D, 38? Do, 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 do. I'm gonna guess D.
Yeah, that's what I would go with.
I'm going to go with 35. C.
I'm
First, you have
gonna.
to know how many. First, you have to know how many Hall of Famers the Bears have.
That's a good question. But I'm gonna go with B33. Cliff, all of them.
All right. What we got in the chat?
B33 is my answer, guys.
Doug Van Dorn says D. King Buka World says C. Cliff says C. J2K C.
Length 38.
Retro says Dan always goes with the D. He's taking your lines from you, PJ.
Put some D's on it.
There's plenty of room to get in on it, Shorty. I got in it last week right off the bat, if you remember. Telling me I'm so fucking handsome, you old goat.
Throw some D's on it.
J2K says, I want to be optimistic, so D is growing on me. What's the answer, Kitty?
B, 33.
Oh, C.
35.
So the Bears have 33 Hall of Famers then.
Two of those guys got to be newer.
Huh.
That's all I got to say right now.
Yeah. Good for you, PJ.
See?
You got to do something because you're really not, like
Good for you, PJ.
You're not. You don't really want to be Dan's father or anybody's father. Not on this show, dude. You said it last week, but I'm going. I think he's off. I am your father.
Love how PJ.
There you go, Paige. I'm light tonight, guys.
That's all I got to say.
Oh, man.
Victory.
We talked some about DJ. What, Walter? What order do you got him in? We've got like DJ Claypool or DJ Mooney Claypool.
And then
I say Velez.
the
Somebody
Velez
says
before.
EQO. Who are your top four?
DJ Claypool, Mooney, and then Velez Jones.
Okay, so we're all. You got Claypool second. I got it. I got Mooney second right now, even though they're both not practicing. But I am expecting more out of Claypool than we've seen last year and the year before, even with Pittsburgh.
Question for you, Walter.
Yeah.
Would you be opposed to Poles bringing in Hopkins right now?
No, actually, I wouldn't. I think he would actually be a good fit. And if we're going to go all in with Justin Fields, why not get DeAndre Hopkins? I mean, I know he's an older guy.
Your top? Who would be your second then?
1 and 2 would have to be Moore and Hopkins. Have those on the outside and have Claypool in the slot, and have him switch off of Mooney, and you can have a fresh set of legs on whichever down.
Oh wow, okay.
So
It could still happen, guys.
it could.
Okay.
I mean, one thing I did want to bring up when you were showing the second play from Velez Jones, and you're all talking about he's not extending his arms enough. When you watch that ball fall in, it fell into his hands. I felt he had enough extension, but he just muffed the play. It happens. But the sample size is so small. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
That's what a lot of these guys are harping on. We're going to harp on one bad play. Well, if you have one bad play and it's only your only play, that's all you have to talk about.
And actually, that play worked out because the Cowboys were scoring at will that game in the first half. And when he dropped that, the Bears actually got to extend their drive and burn out the clock and then score before the end of the half and not give the ball back to the Cowboys. So it actually worked out in their favor.
Yeah.
Had he caught it, the Cowboys might have just turned around and scored again.
No, I'm really starting to watch a little more on Velez Jones, and I noticed he only played about 22% of the snaps on offense last year. And we got all these guys coming out of the woodwork saying he's a bust, he's going to get cut. How do you know that? First off, you haven't seen enough to give him a real, fair shake.
Mhm.
How many targets did he have, and how many drops did he have? Anybody have that information handy?
No.
Who?
Bayless Jones. How many targets? How many receptions? How many drops?
Targets? I think it was around 12, maybe.
12
Yeah, it's
targets?
not a lot.
Not a lot at all.
I had it down somewhere.
Let's see. See if
In,
I can
in
see
real Cliff retro, my father wasn't the missing link. I am.
So he had. Let's see. 1 for 9 in week 5, 1 for 10 in week 6, 1 for 5 in week 8, 1 for 3 in week 15, 2 for 52 in week 16, 1 for 28 in week 18. And then he had the.
So he's not getting very many targets at all, or no, he don't have very many catches. We're not saying how many targets he got, but that's the thing. I mean, I don't remember him doing much of anything last year. I'm not by no means saying he's a bust. I don't
Right.
think he's a bust. I just,
No.
for whatever reason, he didn't get the ball last year.
Well, that was my big thing with Harry, too. I think he played in 8 games and only had 9 targets his entire time here.
Yeah.
I mean, the passing game in general was a mess last year.
Right.
We're not going to, deny that.
Right.
But let's, come on. I don't even know where to begin. I don't know if it's just, Getsy tunneling on the run, first-time play caller.
Well, you got to also consider, though, that a lot of Fields' runs came from passing plays where nothing was there and he just took off running. So they were designed passing plays, but because no one was open, they turned
Early.
into plays. So.
No, yeah, like you said, there's more factors than just that.
Oh yeah. So I mean, what he threw the ball on the average, maybe 20 times a game, something like that.
If that.
Yeah. So, yeah. So maybe he had maybe 26 dropbacks per game.
Going to bring this up too. That sophisticated thought brought up. I think he's going to have a good season myself, just like he says. But remember, he didn't get a lot of training camp last year because of that damn hamstring injury. And he's
Sophisticated thought says V12 will have a bounce back season, guys. You got to remember he didn't get much training camp and had a hamstring injury. I honestly believe the struggles were him trying too hard and it was mental, not physical. 100% agree.
Thank you, Dan, because that's what I was trying to spit out of my mouth. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I agree too.
From college to NFL is a big damn deal,
It's just the way he played in those last 3 games. It was a different guy.
Absolutely.
I mean, you saw those games, right, Walter?
Yeah, you definitely saw a huge upgrade in just his mentality and his play style near the end of the season.
Yeah.
So that was always a good plus right there.
Absolutely. It gave me more optimism instead of pessimism with him. I just think he's going to be more involved than we think. But maybe not, because, man, if he's working on a punting like that will let Pettis be gone. If he's going to be if he comes through punting by preseason, because why do we have Pettis? I think that's the reason we kept him was emergency for the punt return, and if we need another guy, at least we got somebody on the field again. Because last year was like Mooney and some guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
right.
I'm not trying to put anybody down, but be realistic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, like what Chase 2K had said. I mean, as far as he has 37 plays in one game and only had 2 targets.
Yeah.
On all 22, he looked lost, but I hear good things in OTAs. I mean, if you're looking lost out there, being a rookie, like I said, maybe this year's going to be a lot better. I mean, having a full training camp, hopefully he can stay healthy. He can look better, but fact remains, he did kind of look lost out there last year.